Hello everyone, this is comrade-Sirius and welcome to showcase of what's coming in this game and next update for the public. Let's look at it. There are a lot of things, some of them noticeable, some of them less. So let's go from left to right, almost. First things you will notice, there are nothing with roads and rails, but first thing are these pergolas. I don't know what the English name will be, but maybe even this, because it's quite a universal word. Those are decorative pieces over pavements, and they are currently found under multiple, like, overpasses and tunnels, even gates, gate pieces, you can see them, they are between gates. But they are definitely not gates, you cannot attach fences to them. What you can do is, they are walkthrough. These are kiosks, which you know probably from the game, the small shopping one. If you press a bus stop, you can take a look at it and you can walk through them. So the people can walk through those pergolas, and they will, because these pergolas make the road slightly shorter, as you can see on those blue dots. Because any object, those of you who are watching me for a longer time already know this, that it's working with fountains. The same effect takes place here. On the other hand, you cannot, as with fountains, you cannot build through them. This is a path, you can see, this is a construction office. You cannot select it to be constructed. You need a separate path around. So, keep this in mind. There are a lot of new things added to current game. One of those, which I really love, are these open storages. Their new versions have extra factory connections on sites, both small one and large one, as you can see, and they are quite huge. To be fair, if you combine them with, wood cutting post and lumber mill, wood cutting post has no longer only one but 4 factory connections, and lumber mill has 2 on the sides. If you combine those, it's much easier to make a wood cutting industry. I know it's not needed for many things, but hell, this will help to build it. And open storages will help a lot regarding many things as well. So that's it. Similar thing happened to vanilla storages, open storages. The small one and the big one have currently another conveyor connection going straight forward, which is great, and vanilla has gotten one to the left as well. These are beautiful, and they have been in the game basically from the start, if I remember, and now they are finally useful. Well, we can say more useful, because it's been a little pain to draw everything to the right angle. A small change happened with gravel processing. Now it has, as a new version, it has allowed these 2 pieces to the side. Conveyor input it has for a long time, maybe a year, but now it has these two on the side, which was not the case before. I don't feel this one was desperately needed, but it's a nice addition as well. On the other hand, what I would really like to are with dumps, especially dumps with claws, the big ones. They would also really benefit from other connections, but in my version of internal test, they are not there. Hopefully they are not there yet. Few things regarding electricity. Now we're moving to this part. Electric substations, both with path and with road, both of these have 3 connections instead of 1, which is absolutely great. And what's even more, you can see megawatts have risen on these underground wires. The biggest one is not 145, it's now 185, and yeah, it will help a lot in terms of city planning and so on. More importantly, these extra connections, sadly only on newly built substations, but these extra connections will help you with reconnecting or with connecting, for example, solar power plant, windmills and so on. You will see how it will work or not. but that's up to future research and your own experiments. I haven't had the time yet. In terms of networks, you may have known about it. That's not exactly new, but finally these heat exchangers, both small and ones, have their respective parts with respective twins with path connections, and they are now under substations, under heat exchangers, not under heating plants and so on, as they were last month or two. So that's a good thing. And staying with networks, sewage treatment plants, both small and big ones, have massively risen their import dumps for sewage water, which is a good thing because as this thing can process 440 meters of water, its former storage of, I don't know, 100 meters, 100 square meters was definitely not enough. Maybe even it has like 50, I don't know. So these changes are overall in a good way. Last thing you see here are playgrounds, and we'll jump a little. Children's playgrounds are under monuments, under monument section where Lenins are and all the other stuff. There are free versions, and those of you who have been living in Soviet and post-Soviet countries, you'll probably find lots of these pieces familiar, and nostalgic memories it will bring on your childhood, because yeah, they look perfect. They do not boost loyalty, they boost sport enjoyment influence for kids. Hopefully it will be a good thing. But they have one more specific feature, similar to fountains and similar to pergolas. If you take a look at them, you can walk through them, and they will make journeys significantly shorter, especially the big ones. So place these in the center of your prefab blocks. They will shorten your walking distance again. It's only for counting, so don't overdo it. And yes, if you take a look, you cannot build through them as well, so don't try it. But there are some nice things to have in the game. One thing that you probably haven't noticed or would not notice on the first go is in university you have now preferred students based on education. This tick box should mean that students that are queuing with higher education will be preferred to be taken into studies, and thus will finish sooner, aka further reducing the need for I don't know how they are called, but these things, colleges. It's not colleges. Well, basically dorms, yeah, university dorms. You wouldn't need them in this update. You wouldn't need them so desperately. They will continue to be useful, but they will not be too key. Let's get back slightly into city and into culture and sport. There are two more things that are new, and one of them is amphitheater. It's in the culture, you can see it. It's only for warm weather, so it cannot be used in winter. And unlike other stuff, this thing is not walkthrough, so it's a terminus building, like any normal building, we can say. It has currently some electricity need. I don't know why, but well, they will probably remove it. After all, it's internal test. It has a lot, and by a lot I mean a lot of visitors, 150 for only 5 workers. 1 to 30, that's pretty good ratio. Speaking of good ratios, in 1 to 30, you have the city stadium. That's also 1 to 30 if I'm counting right. Maybe not. 1 to 15, sorry, this is 1 to 15. It's stadium for 450 workers, visitors, we can say. It is not an attraction. It doesn't have stars, so tourists won't profit of visiting from visiting of this. But hey, it's a pretty good building, Again, usable only when it's warm. But man, it looks good. Yeah, the small problem is that obviously it has rectangular footprint, so you know, plant some trees if you know how. You can use a cheat mode or some, you know, decorations that are from workshop and that are free. As you can see, I got quite a lot of them. But for example, these, you know, bushes, you can pretty easily plant around. If you want to know the number of the mod, that I would need to look at it. Well, it's not here, but if you can see it, I'm using these quite a lot in my series. And the number, you can pause the video and write it in the Steam. Well, that's it. That's where we end. You can pause the video and write it down. Two more things. One is in-game, one is from workshop as well. In-game wise, when you have a building, a car plant, this has been there from the start and I may not be telling you new things. But if you take a look, for example, on vehicles and order them, you can see, well, Skodas are quite cheap. But for example, Kamasis, you have small Kamas for 96, 97,000 rubles. And then you have big Kamasis, like 128, 121. If you are manufacturing your own vehicles and you buy one of these, the rest of the similar type, aka big or small truck, will get much cheaper in terms of blueprints. So if you buy the big covered hull, you can see the rest of these no longer cost 134,000 but only like 17,000. Small ones are unaffected. But you know, if we buy at least one of these small instead of 97,000, they all cost like 12. Special cases like cranes are not affected. Similar cases like snowplows, they are affected. So that's a good thing. And yes, if you take a look, it is also working on Western vehicle, you know, Mark models. You can see those big ones, big beasts. They are over 500, even $600,000. When you press it, all remaining are much cheaper. I don't know why this one, but that's a different model. So, I hope that's a good thing for you. I hope that you learned something new. And to add even more, there are some workshop items. These will be in description. And I have a whole mod collection for Hussar Challenge, which is a challenge I have made, and it's mostly vanilla. So those are not game alternating buildings. And you know, there are some buildings from Ukrainian DLC, like these three, and there are some buildings from vanilla. And their original state is that they have simply one color variant, not anymore. My subscriber and a member of my Czech channel, Richard, has made skins for these buildings. Some of them are more extraordinary, like for Dnipro flats. As you can see, there are definitely some extraordinary variants, and some, you know, more decent. It's up to you. Or, for example, these vanilla buildings, you can see they are quite okay-ish in these terms. There are some moderate changes, like you may like it or not, but you know, cars playgrounds, sport grounds, with some nice car variants. Same go for the sport hall, so you can make a nice color fitting variant. Then similar to Dnipro flats are these two gray buildings. The best prefabs in the game, basically, in terms of, you know, cost to ratio. So, yep, you can do, you know, essential part, indoor pool. Yeah, yep, car fitting variants to those. Or, you know, a standalone one. Why not? Concert hall Ukraine. here we go. 2 of these best I have left for the end. And you can show him praise by, liking them in workshop, leaving a good comment and so on. This is Hotel Ukraine. It has multiple colored variants, including some that are really resembling a shuttle in, Europe or Russia or anywhere. It's absolutely gorgeous. And yes, it's not changing anything about the hotel, but it's just looking absolutely great. This is a chateau. This is a castle. It's not a hotel, and I really love it. I really love how it turns out, how it looks. And the same goes for the old brick houses, the decent one with the best quality of flat. If you take a look at all these variants, like you can see they have been made with passion. Ironically, this was one of his first skins. And yeah, they are absolutely great. You can find all of these in mod collection under this video. So you can cherry pick some of them or just, take the whole collection. The whole collection also contains tons and tons of skins for vehicles. So you will have fun. You can have fun, working with them. And yeah, here we have some problems with trains, so no big, nothing going on in background. Yeah, it's quite silly, but nothing that would be unsolvable. Well, but that's about it. Well, I hope you have fun. I hope you have been taught something. Leave a like, subscribe to this channel if you want to see me playing. And if you have any question, feel free to post them, because I tend to answer pretty regularly, at least once in a few days, because yeah, I run 2 channels and the main one is my Czech channel, so that's where I'm signed up on default on my mobile. But I tend to post a video every 2 days on this one as well, if I manage. So that's it. Have a nice day and see you soon. Bye bye.